The entire industry is freaking out with the new release of GPT-4o. Everybody's saying that it's completely changing the game, but is it really? Well, I'm gonna break down exactly what the new features are of this model and what is really making it so different from ChatGPT-4 right in this video, so stick around, I'm gonna answer all your questions. What's up, everybody? Adam Gillespie here, and I help realtors level up their game by the responsible and ethical use of AI and proper utilization of their CRMs. So with the new release of ChatGPT-4o coming out, everybody is wondering what the heck is going on. Well, I'm gonna break it down to you guys right now so you have a clear understanding. Okay, so ChatGPT-4o, or Omni, has now been released to the general public. So what's the big deal? Well, first and foremost, it's an entirely new model trained from the ground up with all new data. So it is a new model, but it's still relatively like ChatGPT-4 with just some added features to it. I think the biggest piece of news is that it's now gonna be available to everybody for free. So whether you're a ChatGPT Plus subscriber or you're not, you now have access to the Omni model. And why they called it Omni is because basically everything is now included in one, right? When ChatGPT-4 was out, we had multimodal capabilities, but we had to switch in between those. And then eventually they kind of added that all in together in a new default mode. But with Omni, it's all wrapped into one package and we can interact seamlessly with it without having to switch back between multimodalities. So that's a really big deal because now what we're seeing is that people that don't have the Plus subscription can now analyze images. They can now upload and analyze documents. They can use DALL-E 3. They can do all of these things that were limited and restricted prior when they were only having access to GPT 3.5. So that's huge news for non-Plus subscribers. But what that begs the question is why should I subscribe to Plus now, right? Like, what makes Plus so much better than the free version? Well, at the moment, there's not really that much, but I'm not saying to run out and cancel your Plus subscription because as Plus subscribers, we still get 5 times more prompting capabilities in the 3-hour limit than the non-Plus subscribers. So as far as our prompt limit goes as Plus subscribers, it's still 40 for every 3 hours. But for the non-Plus subscribers, it's significantly less than that. So for that reason alone, I'm gonna still stay subscribed to Plus, but you do get access to the same model as a free subscriber versus a paid subscriber. Another big thing is that we get free access to GPTs now. So instead of GPTs being restricted to Plus subscribers, anybody can access them now. I'm not too sure how they're gonna roll out the update fully in the end, whether or not you have to be signed into ChatGPT or not to be able to access these. But if they allow you to access and operate these GPTs without being signed in, this could be huge for us realtors in being able to have a deliverable AI product to our clients, such as the GPT that I created that's DIY Guru, right? Where we can show them how to do DIY repairs around the house to either get it ready to list or as a new buyer, give them ideas on what they can do inside themselves without having to hire a contractor out to help kind of spruce that home up to their liking and to their style, right? So having that access to the free GPTs is, or to having access to the GPTs for free users now is absolutely huge. And then on the back side of things, for the more techie group there, for the API side of GPT-4, GPT-4o is now available on the API side, and it's 50% cheaper than any of the previous models. So this is gonna make it way easier for us to deploy chatbots onto our websites for a much lower cost. 50% lower, as a matter of fact, okay? So that's really, really big, as I'm gonna plan on showing a lot of you guys here later on how we can take ChatGPT and API it into our websites and into our CRM so our chatbots can be our clone talking to these people and qualifying these new clients. Just makes it for a much better personal experience, okay? And next to that, they just dropped new voice mode capabilities. So for those of you who are on GPT Plus with the 4 Turbo version, you'll know that we were able to talk back and forth with ChatGPT, but it was still pretty clunky, right? Like, it took a long time for them to respond. Like, if you're in a slow internet service area or trying to use it during high peak usage times, I could ask a question to GPT-4 Turbo and it would take up to 5 seconds for it to process that question and respond. Well, with 4o, those capabilities are now instantaneous, okay? So it's like talking to a real person. You can actually interrupt the bot too. So if you ask it a question, and it starts giving you a response and going off into left field, you can now say, hey GPT, that's not where I was going with that, let's take it this direction. And instead of having to push a button to manually stop it, you can actually interrupt it with your voice and it'll catch that interruption and correct itself.
What animal do you think would work best for this character?
For a villain with that kind of laugh, maybe a slithery snake or a cunning fox?
All right, say something the fox would say, I guess.
Earl King, your reign ends tonight.
So super powerful there. They also upgraded the vision capabilities to it. So once these updates start rolling out and we get access to them, you're gonna find out that you can just turn your camera on and you can ask ChatGPT what you're looking at and it can describe the area around you. It can even read emotion off of your face. OpenAI, when they were demoing it for the spring update, they did show some of this and it seemed pretty legit, where like a lot of these demos that we see, like when Google demoed Gemini, we found out later that those were all pre-planned, pre-rehearsed demos, and they tried to fool us by making it look like it was a live demo, but it was actually all pre-recorded and set out.
Who are you trying to fool with all that badass stuff?
With the OpenAI's spring update, it didn't really seem like that. Now, they may have had to do multiple takes. We don't know that, but from what we saw, like it was pretty legit. It looked live. So I'm gonna assume that what they're showing us through that update is gonna be the deliverable product that we end up getting here. Now, with all of that being said, they have not dropped the update out to everybody yet. It's going to be a slow roll release like they typically did. So we should be seeing all of these feature updates within the next few weeks. So if you don't see it there now, don't panic. It's coming. They're just rolling it out like they typically do with the other updates. I don't know about you, but I heard about memory and then waited like 3 months before I got access to it. And I was even starting to wonder whether or not they were even going to release that feature. But lo and behold, they actually did. It just took a while to get it. So that could be the situation here, okay? And with all of this being said, you're probably thinking, well, what, is GPT-4 useless now? No, absolutely not. GPT-4 still has its uses. It's just that Omni is trained on a different data set and it's quicker too. So it's twice as fast as it was with GPT-4. So once again, not saying to never use GPT-4 again. As it sits currently with the update, I've gotten the update on mine here, but I'd noticed that all the GPTs are still using the GPT-4 Turbo model. So once that unlocks to Omni, I imagine that we'll get notified on that, but that would increase the capabilities of those GPTs as well. So super excited about that coming out, but just want to reiterate that this is not a complete replacement of GPT-4. There's still going to be uses with it. So don't hesitate to continue on that model for now, right? Once 4o is fully out and rolled out, then probably won't have as much use for GPT-4, but for now, I still think it's a very powerful tool. So I would recommend to keep using it. And keep an eye out, right? Because there's going to be more features that are going to be rolling out. Like one of the things I saw on OpenAI's website yesterday was the ability of DALL-E 3 has significantly improved. Now, I don't know if this is still going to be DALL-E 3 or if it'll be DALL-E 4 or if it'll be an entire new image model. But one thing that we do know is that it can now basically replicate images. So before, DALL-E would just generate images and it could sometimes get close to replication, but it couldn't. It was always something a little bit different. But what we saw through OpenAI yesterday was that they actually showed where you were able to create a cartoon image of a postal worker, you know, and basically it created the image of that. Then we gave it a name, named her Sally, and said, this is Sally. And then we started having it create different images of like Sally being chased by a dog, Sally tripping over a stick. And what we saw was that the image generation was able to replicate Sally into these different scenes. So this can open up the playing field as far as it goes for us creating either, you know, like pictures and illustrations and books or ebooks that we're doing that can remain consistent with the character that we have set up. This is something that DALL-E 3 could not do before. And even on top of that, what we saw was they actually uploaded 2 pictures of real humans in there and had it create a movie, like a movie cover image. And it was able to pull their picture in, change the expressions on their face, and create this movie cover image. So that is absolutely huge when it comes to image generation, because for up until this release, Midjourney was the only thing that could closely do that, and even that had some holes in it. So to be able to see that DALL-E or OpenAI's new GPT-4 Omni is able to do this with images is going to be a game changer all over the place. And finally, they have addressed the issue with text into image generation. It looks like GPT-4 Omni can actually type out text inside the image creation that is spelled correctly. So for all of us out there that have been trying to use this and get text inputted into these images, you know it's been a battle, right? Like we have to keep prompting it, trying to edit it, and we eventually give up and bring it into Canva to put our text in because it just can't create that text. Well, we saw a demo from OpenAI where they were actually able to recreate a robot typing on a typewriter, and they had it write one section of text down, and it got that down 100% accurate. And then they even said, okay, now write the second segment, and it showed the image actually created where the original text was still on there, and then the paper pops out of the typewriter more, and that second piece went on there. And then they even took it further and said, now rip this paper in half, and it did, and it still retained 100% accuracy on the text output. So that is going to be absolutely huge for us realtors when we're creating blog images that may have like a for sale sign in it, or even have our contact information. Now this can all be generated inside of ChatGPT as we speak in real time accurately. So that saves us that time from having to jump back over from Dolly and upload that image into Canva and then put our texting in. So guys, this is absolutely a huge update, but I want to stress that it's not a complete new model like a GPT-5 would be, or GPT 4.5. It is trained on a new set of data. So in essence, I guess it is a new model, but in my personal opinion versus what I've been able to play with it so far is it's still close to ChatGPT 4, and it's not going to be as big as like a GPT-5 release. So I would still pay very close attention to OpenAI in the next coming months, because we may see some new features rolling out, or maybe even a complete new update like GPT 4.5 or GPT-5. But the reality is, as of right now, Omni is here and it is awesome. So I hope that you guys got some value out of this video. I just wanted to create this real quickly so that way you could get a clear understanding of what to expect with this new model and how to utilize it. Once again, they have not rolled out the updates to everybody yet, so expect those to be coming in the next few weeks. So if you don't see it right now, don't panic. It's coming. It'll be there, and I can't wait for everybody to have it so we can start experimenting with it and see what we can create with this new model. So that's it for today, guys. Hey, if you like this type of content and you want to dive even deeper, I have a full AI community that I host on Circle that you can join for a monthly fee, where we have some of the best in the business inside real estate using AI and CRMs, and we share all of our secrets inside this community. Okay, so there is nothing being held back, and we are all about helping each other level up. So if you want to be that modern agent that's AI centric and can absolutely dominate your landscape, then take a look at Agent Prompt University. I'll leave the link in the description below here so that way you guys can get access to it. But it is going to be the #1 spot for realtors to go for AI and CRM integration inside of our business, so that way we can level up together. Once again, guys, I hope you have an awesome day, and I hope you got some value from this video. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates, and we will catch you soon.